everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I had a really good weekend, but a really busy one because I'm actually moving now, but not moving anywhere far. I'm kind of staying in the San Francisco area, just moving like a few minutes away from where I am now. So not a big move, but every move is a big move because I have so much stuff. Like I spent a good 2 hours last night packing up a little more than 10 boxes, all of action figures, and I'm still not done. I still have tons more of action figures to pack up, and as you can see, I still have a ton of stuffed animals to pack up as well. So, let's go ahead and get to your questions. We're going to start off with Bam121, who asks that, well, you probably already answered this, but do you read any comic books or graphic novels beside Walking Dead? So, of course, yes, I do read Walking Dead, and I read it. I read it way, when it first came out. Maybe I was about a year behind when it first came out, I guess. But I'm not a new convert to the Walking Dead series. I did read it before the show started. I also enjoy Y the Last Man, and of course I was a fan of Watchmen, and I actually was a fan of the Watchmen graphic novel and a fan of the movie. A lot of people who read the graphic novel weren't too impressed with the changes that they made in the movie. I thought the changes worked fine to reach a broader audience. I thought they kept the original feel and personality of the graphic novels. Chow Now asks, I just wanted to know if you are a DMC, which for any of you new gamers out there, it stands for Devil May Cry, or not, and what are your views of the franchise being rebooted or reimagined by European developer Ninja Theory? I'm not a Devil May Cry fan. I was with the first one, second one, no, third one, yes. But other than that, I don't feel like the series can go very far. So I guess it would need a reboot or reimagining. But then, it's kind of like, when you reboot it, then it's going to lose, like, the original feel of it. It's just the original feel of Devil May Cry I didn't think I could play, keep playing more of without getting burnt out of that style. It's kind of why I didn't like Bayonetta. It was just Dragon Age. It was just Devil May Cry, but with a chick, and I really didn't like Bayonetta. I know a lot of people did, but I didn't. And that feel, although it makes it original, I also got kind of sick of it. And so it needs a reboot or reimagining, but I feel like if it does, then you're going to lose the original feel of it, and it's not going to be the same. I don't like the character model or the concept art for the character model so far. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. And that's coming from someone that's not a big fan of it. So I'm guessing that if I don't like it, and I'm only a big fan of the first one, semi-fan of the third, then I don't even want to know what the fans think. So I'm pretty sure they might not be happy with it at all, because from what I've seen of it, it just doesn't feel like a Devil May Cry game at all. Leroy K. 2009 asks, what do you think of the amount of bugs in Fallout New Vegas? Do you think the devs should have allowed to release games in this state? The bugs in Fallout New Vegas are just inexcusable. I do not think that game developers should be allowed or should release games in that kind of state. There should be more Q&A, and too many companies are relying on the fact that they can patch it later, and they're shipping and charging us for an incomplete game. And that, I find, is actually pretty rude. I think it's kind of a slap in the face to the gamers. We pay full price for a game, and it's not done. And they kind of finish it as we play it. And that's definitely not how a full game should be. So, yeah, I think it's a slap in the face to the people that actually purchase their games. Deathstriker6666 asks, do you think that games like Dragon Age are going to breathe new life to single-player RPGs, especially on the side of quality? I'm a big Dragon Age fan, so when you say Dragon Age and quality, of course I'm going to agree, because I adore Dragon Age. I do think that it is going to help the whole single-player RPG, but there have been really great single-player RPGs even before this Dragon Age, but most of them, at least the ones I played, because I played them on like PS2, were co-op, like Champions of Norath. You could play co-op, which I enjoyed that game a lot more with a friend than I did single-player. But I do think Dragon Age is a great game, and it didn't need co-op, and it didn't need multiplayer. I don't like people that can't seem to play a single-player game without screaming they need some kind of multiplayer. Games are fun that are single-player as well. So Dragon Age was a perfect example. He also asks, That's very curious whether I have played a PC RPG called The Witcher, and if I played it, what did I think about it? I haven't played it. I have heard that game mentioned a few times. I know nothing else about it. I haven't read any reviews. I haven't seen any scores. I've just heard it mentioned a few times. I think people have asked me if I've played it before, and no, I haven't. Is it something I should check out? Because if it is, then I definitely want to check it out. I'm going to butcher this name. Muhakma wants to know, are you looking forward to Batman Arkham City? Not really. You know, I didn't like Arkham Asylum as much. Okay, I liked it, but I thought it was just basically all fan service, and I'm not a huge Batman fan, and I feel like for the people that weren't big Batman fans, it just felt very generic. And I have fought with people about this. I know a lot of you out there are going to completely disagree. For you that year, Arkham Asylum was, you know, your game of the year, and that's perfectly fine. Just for me, I felt it was fan service, which is nothing wrong with it, but I felt like they focused so much on the Batman aspect that the game itself kind of, like, fell flat. Like, really, if they pulled all the Batman stuff out of Arkham Asylum, that game was really pretty generic. He also asks, what did you think of Army of Two series? I haven't played any of the Army of Two series. I am so over military shooters, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't want any more Call of Duties. I don't want, you know, any more Army of Twos. I don't want any more of that stuff at all. For me, I'm tired of it. It sells really well. I think mainly it sells really well because it's an online shooter. Online shooters basically always really sell well. But to me, I'm not a competitive gamer. And to me, I don't like military shooters. So when you have a military shooter, that's a competitive game. I'm definitely not going to play it. And he also asks, what game series do you want to see continued the most? Ooh, that's really hard. There's a lot of series I'd love to see continued. Probably my number one would be Eternal Darkness. That game was so amazing. There's so much more they could do with it now on next-gen systems. I want to see it done again, but I don't because I don't know if the original company that did it with Silicon Knights, I don't know if they or any other company would be able to really match the feeling the first one had. I mean, the whole fact about losing your sanity and the game just completely messing with your brain was awesome. And I think if another company, or if anybody, even the original people, tried to do it again, they would make it kind of a little bit more cheesy. You know, they might go the whole Resident Evil route, and it's going to lose a lot of what made it so special. So I do want it to be done again, but I don't. Maybe if I want to see somebody just, like, you know, re-release it in HD and add a few more scare effects, that would be cool. Or insanity effects, that'd be cool. But maybe not a whole reboot. So, to answer your question, it's a long answer. Maybe a series I would actually like to see more of would be Luigi's Mansion and Pikmin. I love both those games, and I want to see more from those games. I think it would be a lot of fun. And Fatal Frame. I know the last Fatal Frame only came out in Japan, but where's the American love? I would love to see another Fatal Frame. You know, I loved all three. The first one was my favorite, and I'd love to play a fourth. Like, love it, love it. Maybe not on the Wii, though. The Wii's not my number one system for survival horror games. I'd love to see it on the 360 or the PS3, or both. Hell, why not both? Just give us our Fatal Frame 4, and I'll be a happy camper. Score56 asks, do you think that Kratos will make a good addition to the new Mortal Kombat game? I do and I don't. I don't like the forced characters into these games, kind of like Darth Vader and Yoda in Soul Calibur. That totally wasn't right. I mean, yeah, I loved playing with Yoda, and I loved, you know, being able to play on the Death Star and the music and everything, but it still just didn't feel right. And I guess out of all the video game characters, the character that should be in a Mortal Kombat game would be Kratos. Pyramid Head would be a good one, too. But, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know, I don't really like that whole forced thing, you know? But, that being said, he probably will be my number one character I play in that game. So, I guess I'm kind of eating my own words, aren't I? The Sideshow Nick asks, if I have names for my boobs. I don't. I've always found it weird, people that name their boobs or guys that name their manly parts. I just always thought that was kind of weird, so I just call them this one and that one. I guess that's the best I can come up with. Not that creative. So guys, that is it for this week's video. And I hope you guys have a great week. It's Monday. I hope your Monday's been really good, and I hope your upcoming week's really good. Don't forget to make it to the live chat this Thursday on Ustream. You can find the link down in the description box. And that's 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern, and I think that's 11 o'clock in England, because I know a lot of you are from England. And if it's wrong, if it's not actually 11 o'clock, let me know so I can change the times and say the right one next time. So yeah, guys, have a great week, and thanks for watching. Love all of you, and remember, if you want to submit a question, just email it to me at rachelmoore@gmail.com. Bye, guys.